Thank you, Cathaoirleach, and I want to commend Senator Martin for mentioning the photo call tomorrow, where I'm calling on members of this House and both the other House to come out onto the Plinth at 12 o'clock tomorrow to support the reopening of our churches and allow those of all faiths to do so safely. Today, Leader, I'd like to talk briefly this morning about the ugly side of choosing a career in politics, specifically the vile criminal abuse, harassment and intimidation that politicians can be subjected to by some individuals. I think we can all expect a certain amount of jostling in this career in the form of robust debate, hard questions being asked of us and clear answers being demanded. We expect scrutiny and criticism from our political opponents, the media, interest groups and the public. What one does not necessarily expect is to be subjected to the campaigns of abuse and terror, just for doing your job and serving your community as best you can. This type of abuse can even result in you and your family living in fear, not feeling safe in your own home. The experiences of independent councillor and Mayor of Galway City, Mike Cubbard, serve as a sobering reminder of how far abuse can go. He and his family have endured an 18-month-long campaign of abuse and harassment. Threats have been made to him and his family to burn down his home. I understand that a Garda investigation is now underway, but I am extremely dismayed by the fact that the abuse has seemingly been allowed to continue for so long before it's been taken serious. We cannot permit or tolerate this to happen to politicians or to anyone for that matter. It is simply unacceptable in a civilised society and in a parliamentary democracy with the rule of law. We must take decisive action to eliminate this kind of abuse and bring perpetrators to justice. We must also ensure the online abuse is tackled aggressively. We owe that to each other, to our colleagues, our families and, importantly, to future generations of politicians so that they can pursue a career in politics without being in fear.
Sharon Keogan, again along with Vincent P. Martin, talked about not only your photo call for tomorrow, which I commend you for. I think one of the saddest things that I saw or heard in the last week was Father Hughes being fined €500. Father Hughes is a priest from Cavan, sorry for those of you who don't know, has been fined €500 for getting caught with 8 80-something-year-olds in his church saying Mass. I think it's probably the meanest spirited thing I have ever come across in my life. And I don't diminish the fact that there are restrictions on us all. I know that we all have to obey the rules and the guidelines, but I don't think I've ever heard anything as mean-spirited as fining a priest £500 for saying Mass. But again, I think that comes back to the living with COVID debate that we will try and organise between now and then.